The following is a paid program. Talk 103.7 WTIP and Cable Channel 7 welcome you into Financially Speaking with Jim Taunton. Find us live on radio, TV, the IBX Media app, and on YouTube. Just search Financially Speaking NC or get the link at WTIPFM.com. The opinions expressed in this show are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities and investment advisory services are offered through Genoa Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Now, here's your host for Financially Speaking, certified financial advisor, Jim Taunton.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here. And I say that to my radio audience who has always been there, and also to the YouTube audience on the YouTube channel, Financially Speaking NC. Appreciate all of you joining in, and love to have a phone call tonight. I'm live, by the way. I'm sitting here June the 5th, Thursday, June 5th at 6 o'clock. I'm sitting in the chair. So I'm live, waiting for a phone call. Would love for you to call in and ask a question financially related, anything that pricks your interest. I would love to talk with you about it. The number is 561-TALK, 252-561-8255, 561-8255. If you watch this talk radio station much, you probably know that number by heart. That's the number that you call for Talk of the Town and for all the other programs that go on. So, I've got some information for you, but I'm hoping someone will call during the break and I'll talk to them when we come back, but that'll be in about 2 minutes. I'll talk to you then.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
All right, welcome back to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here. Glad you joined me. My producer says we do not have a caller, and that's a bad thing. I don't like that. I like callers. But there is a lot to talk about. We are living in bizarro world. What is going on right now in the upper levels of our government is absolutely bizarre. I think if you've listened to this program much at all, you know I'm a conservative. I was right of Rush Limbaugh when he was living. I mean, I'm very conservative. very conservative. Not just in fiscal matters, but also in social matters and in life in general. So, conservative policies is what I support. However, Trump and Musk are acting like juveniles, spoiled brats. It's absolutely embarrassing to me to see how they are acting toward one another. One of them made the other mad, so now that one's going to do this and that, and then the other one says, well, I'm going to do this and that. Get over it. It's just ridiculous. These are smart people, too, by the way. I mean, Elon Musk is one of the most brilliant people alive as far as IQ is concerned, and Trump's not nearly that smart, but he has a very nice IQ. I mean, he went to a prestigious business school and did quite well, I understand. Runs an empire. These are not stupid people. In the IQ and knowledge sense of the word, but as far as wisdom is concerned, they ain't got it. And that's a shame. It really is. I mean, Trump is doing a lot of good things and going a direction maybe that we need to go, except I'm kind of with Musk on this tax bill. We're at the point now we need to take some desperate measures to get the deficit to zero. We need a balanced budget so that the growth in the GDP will actually increase net revenue to the government, and we might be able to use that to stave off defaulting on our debt in the next 20, 25 years. I just don't know what it's going to take. It's just maddening, because little people like me, I'm sitting out here, I don't have any say-so, no effect. And, we don't have good choices anymore when it comes to the national election. It's just lesser of evils. That's all we're looking at. We haven't had a true statesman in the Oval Office in quite some time. And that is a shame for a country with the resources we have, with 350 million souls living here. Why can't we do better than that? It just makes me angry. All right, let's get to the facts of the matter. Treasury yields are going down, and they're going down because we've had some relatively weak financial data released. I'm honest with you. I'm totally transparent. I tell you the truth on this program. I don't sugarcoat anything. And we're seeing economic activity slow down. There's no doubt about that. So the 10-year Treasury is now at 3.5%. That's down significantly. The ISM, actually, this number that I heard is different from the number that I'm seeing on the actual report. The ISM measures manufacturing data. Oh, here we go. Let's go to this sheet right here. Okay. And the last number was 48.5. 48.5 means retraction. That means there's not growth in manufacturing. There is a retraction, a reduction in manufacturing activity. And I've told the story many times, but I want to remind you that I have actually sold advisory clients positions in the market on a wholesale basis and moved to cash temporarily twice in my career. I'm not a timer by any stretch. Twice in my career. Okay, 45 years in financial services, twice, and once was in 2007. I had studied the subprime issue intently, and August the 18th of 2007, I was actually at my condo at the beach, which I don't own anymore. Had my notebook computer with me, and I saw that the ISM number was 50 or a little below. And I'd been telling listeners on this radio program that it was a serious issue, and it could trickle down to the consumer level, and if that was the case, might cause a recession. And nobody was talking about recession at that time. It just seemed logical to me. And it was the ISM report that was the last straw that led me to sell these assets. And lo and behold, the ISM data says 48.5%. That's not good. And there's some other numbers. The ADP showed the slowest payroll in quite some time. Bottom line is the Fed needs to cut rates. They need to cut rates now, and they need to start with a 50 basis point cut, not 25, but a 50. They're going to be behind the eight ball if they don't do that. You know, Trump's been trying to get them to do that, but I think that was premature originally. And I think he's causing the problem because they don't want to do what he tells them. They don't want to appear to be political and to be doing what a president wants them to do, regardless of their political persuasion. And the more that he tries to pressure them, the slower they're going to be to actually reduce rates. He needs to keep his mouth closed and go about his business. And maybe the Fed will do the right thing. They're supposed to be data-driven. I will say the earnings season, which is now over, was excellent. Many companies had excellent earnings. In particular, NVIDIA beat by a large margin the expectations on earnings, and they're on the way up again. NVIDIA is almost to the high water mark. It was a little over 150 before it started trickling down. And let's see, where did they? I'm going to look at it. All right, NVIDIA closed it at 140. So they are a hair from the high water mark. So they're doing quite well and have been the leader and are again the leader of the technology sector. And hopefully that'll lead this market forward. But there's some other things that need to take place. Now, Trump had a meeting with the president of China, Xi, and Trump said they straightened some things out. Now, I don't know what you make of that. I mean, it's to the point you just don't know what to believe. He said he straightened some things out. Well, if the market really believed they straightened some things out, it would have been up large today. But I think most people have just grown tired of it, and they're going to wait to see the actual result. The proof is in the pudding. It's not in what he says. You know a man by what he is and does, not by what he says. And that doesn't bode well for Trump, I can tell you. All right. Let's see. What else? Yeah, factory orders were down. Yeah, 37,000 new payrolls. That was down from expected was forecast was 110,000. That was a shocker, actually. ISM services actually was at 49.9%, which again indicated contraction. But all this information goes into the Federal Beige Book, which is the information that they put together to try to determine what they need to do at their next meeting, whether to increase rates or not. I'd come to the conclusion that they were going to wait until September based on everything I was reading, but in hearing. But I'm telling you that we don't need to wait till September to lower rates. According to, let's see which report this was. Let's see. Yeah, okay, just economic report. Just call it generic. According to the report, 9 of 12 federal districts reported contraction in economic activity or no change in growth. The remaining 3 districts saw slight growth. So we've definitely seen a slowing in the economy. Business contacts across the country said consumers were not spending and described labor markets as flat. In summation, the report said that all the districts, reported elevated levels of economic and policy uncertainty, which is what's keeping people from spending money and buying things and doing what they need to do to promote their businesses and grow their businesses. And that's just where we are right now. Housing sales, of course, have slowed considerably. And basically, if go west of the Mississippi, that's where we're seeing all the contraction in the Northeast, west of Mississippi in the Northeast. The Mid-America, which would be, Texas on up to going Arkansas, Illinois, on up to Michigan, what have you, and a little bit west when we get north, a little bit west of that, and then all the Southeast up to Maryland. That's where the growth or status quo was in economic activity. So, we're doing better here in the South than most people are across the country. So, what we've got to hope is that the Fed sees all this data and that they begin to cut rates sooner rather than later, because that's exactly what we need. I'm going to share some more information, a little different type information about a strategist on my advisory account platform. Before we do that, we need to go to a break, but call me during the break and ask me a question about something financial related that you think is important to you, that you want to know, okay? The number is 561-TALK, 561-8255, 561-8255, and I will be back with you in 2 minutes.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979 which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back. Jim Taunton here. Still have time for a caller if you'd like to call. 561-TALK, 561-8255. But as it's always been, the 32 years I've hosted this program, when we get into the summer and it stays light longer, people stay outside. And, I understand why you're not calling, why you may not even be listening. But if you miss the program, you can always watch on the YouTube channel, Financially Speaking NC. All the programs are archived. You can watch any of them anytime. And it's it's been looking like it's going to pour down rain any minute now, and then it's a little brighter right now. But based on my radar on my phone, it's coming. It is coming. If you look at the forecast on my phone, it says we have a 50% chance of rain or more every day for the next 8 days. And that's almost typical for summer weather, to tell you the truth. So it could be partly cloudy most of the time, and then a little storm pops up. No big deal. But, I guess we need more rain. I don't know. I haven't heard lately if we're still in a drought or not. But my grass is certainly looking better after the rain we've had. Okay. When I have a client come to me, or a prospective client, and they become a client, and they have, a large amount of money to invest. When I say large, typically I'm looking at $250,000 or more, but sometimes I'll go below that depending on what else I'm doing for that client. But I use an advisory account. That is a fee-only account where I am being paid. Actually, I don't get all of it, but the advisory fee below $1 million is 1% per year. And that's what we're paid to manage the money. Get over $1 million, I go to 0.75%, and get over 2, we go to 0.5%, well below national averages. You can Google it. And then each strategist that I use on the platform has its own set of expenses. Now I'm going to do something tonight that I've never done on this program in 32 years. And that's share some performance data with you. And I'm doing this with permission of compliance with Genius Wealth Management, who I contacted today and asked them if I could. There are some caveats that I need to provide you. The information that I'm giving you tonight is provided by the third-party manager, who is Peter Anderson, Anderson Capital. He's been on this program. That's one reason I'm sharing with you. He's been on this program several times. You can go get on the YouTube channel and go back and you'll see, and you can listen to him. And he's just done extremely well. Extremely well. He's making good decisions for the most part. I think you'll see when I provide these numbers. And these numbers that we're utilizing are net numbers, which means these are the returns after expenses are paid in the portfolios, that what Anderson's actually charging for managing their money. Now, on the platform that I utilize, called the Axiom platform with Genius Wealth Management, there are numerous third-party managers that I can utilize. I can also utilize any mutual fund. We can do individual stock. We can do anything we want to do. But these third-party managers, some of which you would never heard of, are people that manage large amounts, usually have very large minimums. Genius negotiated with them to come on the platform for a lower minimum than they normally would have. So we can utilize them. And we do utilize them. And Peter Anderson is one that I really have come to love. I have a significant percentage of my personal money on the Axiom platform with Peter Anderson. So let me share with you some things, and I really want to talk more about what he does, how he does it, rather than the numbers themselves. But I think I need to prick your interest with sharing with you some performance numbers. But year to date, his Weathermark portfolio is up 6.25%. The 1 year performance, which means 12 months ending when this report was printed, and I think this was actually through March. March 31st. So 12 months, so March of 24 to March of 25, his portfolio was up 20.38%. 2-year return, 36.97. His portfolio was up 50% last year. 3-year return, this is 3-year average annualized return net of his expense, not the advisory fee. So if I'm managing it for you, then you would subtract 1% or 0.75 or 0.5 from these numbers. So in 3 years, he's averaged 29.63, 5 years, 22.26. And over the last 10 years, he has averaged 17.93%. That, my friends, is a phenomenal job managing money. The thing that's really, really different about Peter is that his portfolio is very small. Unlike a mutual fund, for example, where you may have hundreds of positions represented by the shares you've purchased in a mutual fund. ETFs, hundreds, some even thousands of securities represented. He is a very tactical, pinpoint, precision, laser-focused manager. And right now, his Weathermark strategy only has 14 positions. He's had less than that at times. Now, let me throw in. When I first had him on, he owned NVIDIA, and we talked about that on the program. But then sometime last year, he became a little disenchanted because he was thinking that maybe there was a different way to approach this AI thing, and it had been talked about, and he thought there were 2 triggers he was looking for to get out of NVIDIA, and that was one of them. Anyway, he sold. He had made a lot of money on it, but he sold it. And I thought at the time that was a mistake, but this man is much smarter than I am and manages much more money. But obviously it hasn't hurt his performance because he bought some other positions that have done really well. But just wanted to share that with you in the interest of full disclosure. But he's concentrating right now more on cybersecurity companies, which have done extremely well. And there are some other types of companies as well. I'm not going to go through his whole portfolio, but CrowdStrike is his second largest position. CrowdStrike, they've been in the news in the last 6 months or so, if you recall. And he has just done extremely well. If you have interest, in Peter Anderson's Weathermark portfolio, give me a call. I'll be glad to talk with you about it. And I've got music in my ear, means I'm out of time. And so this is Jim Taunton helping you, I hope, make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.
Incorporated, member NASD, SI.